Hello, my sweet summer children. I'm back with the juice to get you through the long night. Oh my God, this episode was crazy. Like, I don't know. Let's just get into it. So this episode starts in the Vale of Arryn with Lady Rhaena Royce. Rhaena Royce is the Lady of Runestone. The Royces of Runestone are an ancient house of the First Men whose allegiance is sworn to House Arryn. So this guy from Game of Thrones was a Royce, and so was this guy. So Rhaena Royce is Daemon Targaryen's wife, his bronze bitch. Daemon has basically been sent from court and now pops up in the Vale. By the time Rhea figures out he's about to claim her shit as his own, he kills her. I always thought he killed her to get out of the marriage, but it's kind of like different how it goes down in the books. Like, you really don't know. He's not supposed to have been in the Vale, but he kind of just like snuck in the Vale, killed her, and then dipped. I mean, that's just basically what happened. But I always thought that, like, he killed her to get out of that marriage. I don't think he really cares to take Runestone. Like, I don't think that was his, like, objective. No one likes him there, and House Royce is a minor house, considering he's a Targaryen prince. So when Daemon asks to marry Rhaenyra, Viserys tells him, "You're already married." Well, he's like, "Not anymore. I'm not married anymore." But too late to marry Rhaenyra, babe, because the king and Rhaenyra are on their way to Driftmark to propose a marriage. Lionel Strong, Hand of the King, and Rhaenyra and Crispin are there as well. It's rough seas, it's storming, Viserys seems to be seasick. Then we cut to King's Landing. It's storming, it's pouring down raining, and Sir Otto is leaving because he was fired. Take your walking papers, collect your unemployment, and go, sir. Like, you have worn out your welcome here. Sir Otto and Alicent, though, like, they have an interesting conversation. So he talks about Rhaenyra lying to her and her choosing Rhaenyra. He also says Rhaenyra will have to put your children to the sword if she is ever to rule. Like, she'll have no choice. You know it's true. So I'm gonna say this kind of is true. But this is all an environment that was created by Sir Otto Hightower and the other lords of the realm. Like, the precedent in Westeros is that men must inherit before women. Daemon Targaryen was Viserys' heir. Not in name, but his heir all the same. And Otto was so fucking terrified of Daemon that he basically badgered Viserys to death so that he would name Rhaenyra his heir. Slapped his daughter in her mother's dresses in front of the grieving king. You manipulated him into marrying your daughter over Laena fucking Velaryon. And then she pops out a boy baby. And you want to undo everything that you did in the name of your grandson. No, sorry. Like, you don't get to play with people's lives like that, no matter the gender. All of the time that Sir Otto should have put into building and nurturing these connections and loving relationships between both sides, you decided to sow dissension and disconnect and plot to take the throne from Rhaenyra. So don't blame the environment that you bred. I personally don't think that Rhaenyra would have killed her siblings. I just don't think she would have. She's not Cersei. She's not Cersei where she would have killed. If she was Cersei, she would have killed Aegon, baby Aegon, in his fucking cradle. But while I don't think Rhaenyra would kill Alicent's children, Daemon might, though. Like, I really think Daemon would. Like, actually would. Anyway, we finally see the ancient seat of House Velaryon, Driftmark. Sir Laenor is dueling with his boyfriend, Sir Joffrey Lonmouth. Sir Joffrey Lonmouth is called the Knight of the Kisses. House Lonmouth is from the Stormlands, vassals of House Baratheon, and they call him the Knight of Kisses because House Lonmouth's sigil is 6-quartered skulls with lips, kissy lips, so Knight of the Kisses. So Joffrey is Laenor's squire and lover, and the king gets a piss poor welcome at Castle Hightide. The sea snake is still a little bit bitter at Viserys. There's some bad blood there, and then out comes the reason for the bad blood, Laena Velaryon, and she's looking beautiful, if I must say so myself. I don't know about the wig though, but in this part, the wig looked bad, but at the wedding, it looked all right. Anyway, in previous episodes, we saw that Viserys passed over Laena for Alicent Hightower. Speaking of Alicent is giving off heavy Sansa vibes. In the Godswood of King's Landing, being isolated, her father and biggest ally gone, and now she's got to navigate this deadly game alone. And a snake comes into the garden, Larys the Clubfoot, and he says as much. An outsider among the natives. He's speaking of a flower, but he's also speaking of Alicent. But he's there to sow the seeds of mistrust. Larys is a character much like Varys, just way more self-serving. He knows exactly what he's doing. But how does he know about the moon tea? I think that it has been Larys who we have... Remember we keep saying like, oh, someone's watching through the wall because the camera angles shows like someone watching behind the wall. And I think it's Larys that has been observing in the walls. So back on Driftmark, the king is to have an audience alone with the sea snake and Rhaenys. Laena takes her cousin elsewhere. Driftmark is also super impressive on the inside. I loved the mural on the wall. I'm sure it's depicting one of the sea snake's voyages on his ship, the Sea Snake. Corlys bends the knee and Rhaenys busts in, glad to see her cousin. Corlys also says the facts. Lionel is the best man for the job. And that's true. We just can't argue the facts. Viserys learns about Rhea Royce's death. Viserys is there to propose that their son Laenor marry his daughter Rhaenyra. But the sea snake is like, what's the succession terms? And will they have the last name Valerion? And I love that Viserys just threw a little grin in there and said, Rhaenyra is my heir. The throne will pass to her. Laenor and Rhaenyra's first child, regardless of gender, will inherit after that. And when he said, surely you don't think the dynasty of House Targaryen will end with my daughter because she's a woman, I was like, yes, Viserys, speak it plainly. Speak it plainly, my king, because I really I like that part about him. That's one of his redeeming qualities, is that he never changed his succession and he supported his daughter all the way to the end. While they are talking about this marriage pact, outside, the people they are talking about are making a different kind of pact. A plan to do their duty and also have the freedom to love who they want. And I see nothing wrong with this. Like, I don't see what the issue is with this. Laenor and Rhaenyra walked so Renly and Marjorie could run. But seriously, these kids are expected to marry and commit to each other because their parents say they have to. And they have no say over their lives or what happens with their lives. And them making a way to fulfill their political obligations that have been placed on them while enjoying themselves and experiencing life in their own right. It's a perfect situation for both of them. I actually think they will be best friends, and Laenor will be Rhaenyra's staunchest ally. So the sea snake and Rhaenys have a conversation alone. Steve, Toussaint, and Eve Best really bring to life their characters. The sea snake and Princess Rhaenys are one of the few people in this story whose marriage was out of love. Like, she chose him and he chose her. And I think I recall the quote from the old king saying, like, he said to her when she flew to him to tell him that, like, I want to marry Corlys Velaryon, I need your permission. He basically was like, I couldn't have chosen a better man for you. And I agree. Rhaenys is right, though. Knives will come out. They are putting their son in danger. Rhaenyra's succession will be challenged. Like, it will be. Rhaenys knows this better than anyone, that the Lords of the Realm will never accept a woman as their queen while a male is alive. They never accepted her. But Corlys, as her husband, is still feeling the slight from the Great Council. Like, he's still feeling that. He is determined one way or another that he is going to right the wrong that was done to his wife and his son. Rhaenys is more apprehensive, though, because she's put all that business behind her and she's kind of, loving life right now. Like, she's more concerned with the safety of her family and her children. I love Rhaenys. I love her. All hail the queen who never was. But anyway, Joffrey and Laenor are play fighting and discussing marriage and the situation being better than they hoped for, because Rhaenyra will have no problem with them keeping up their relationship. Then boom, we are on a ship and Crispin Cole has lost his goddamn mind. So Sir Criston Cole, proposes that Rhaenyra give up her claim to the Iron Throne, her family, and everything she's ever known to run away with him. And she's like, boy, if you don't get the entire fuck out of my face. I've been saying this since the very first time I read The Princess and the Queen in Dangerous Women. There is only one thing in this world that makes a man hate a woman so fiercely, and it's a man loving you and you having the audacity not to love them back. In his mind, he soiled his cloak for her. She was worth it to him. But now he's talking crazy about running away and living happily ever after. She is a Targaryen princess, dragon rider of Syrax, the blood of Old Valyria, princess of Dragonstone, and heir to the Iron Throne. And he's so hurt that she won't give all that up for him. Like, chill, bro. It's not that deep. How dare she not reciprocate my undying love? Go to hell, Crispin. Go to hell. Speaking of Crispin, he's summoned before the queen. Alicent is holding Helaena, her daughter. Helaena starts crying while Alicent is holding her. Foreshadowing, because like she's always crying when Alicent's holding her. Just kidding. Anyway, Crispin comes in and Alicent is like, so, I heard, and Crispin is just like, Treyway. He just spills all the tea immediately, like Tekashi 6ix9ine. Like, he's out of his mind, bro. Crispin literally confesses to something he wasn't even being asked about. And congrats, Alicent didn't kill him. She's gonna use him and hold his secret over his head forever. So Viserys is sick as hell, and Mellos acts like the only way to treat every disease and ailment ever is leeches. He's like the parent that told you to put some Vaseline on it. Mom, I scratched my leg. Put some Vaseline on it. Mom, I broke my arm. I need stitches. The bone is sticking out. Put some Vaseline on it. And Maester Argyle is trying to make other suggestions, as he has before in previous episodes, and Mellos just shuts him down. Like, I really think Mellos is purposely keeping Viserys sick at this point, or he's just an idiot. But I'm more so leaning towards he's purposely keeping Viserys sick because he's a Maester of the Citadel, and House Hightower is the voice of the Citadel, the voice of Old Town. They light the way. Yeah, all that bullshit is all connected. They're all a bunch of fucking schemers, bro. But boom, we have Meleys, the Red Queen, the dragon of Princess Rhaenys Targaryen, and Sea Smoke, the dragon of her son Laenor, flying over the Valyrian ships as they approach King's Landing because there is about to be a wedding. So I love this scene, right? I love this scene. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. I love all the dragons. Like, they're all my babies. I love them all equally. But I don't really understand why they didn't take the opportunity to introduce Vhagar at this point. I don't really understand, but whatever. Like, can we hurry up and get Vhagar, please? Thank you. In comes the announcement of guests at the wedding. This is to be a 7-day wedding, a splendid affair, and I'm going to talk about how this differs from the book in a little bit, but it's not show spoilers, so I think you'll be good. So we have Jason Lannister, Tywin Lannister, they're prancing through, and old Hobart, the voice of Old Town. Jason Lannister is a cornball, and Rhaenyra reminds him that he is. Rhea Royce's cousin is there, but who cares, because in walks House Valerian. And they left no crumbs. Not one single crumb. I don't know how anyone in this room thinks that they can fuck with the power that is Rhaenyra and Laenor. Like, this was the only political match there was to make, and it was the best one. Crispin is seething with anger still. Then in walks the banished dragon. The crowd is... Once again, Daemon is home. I don't know. This boy always finds his way back home. He's banished one episode and right back the next. Anyway, right in the middle of the king's speech, Alicent decides to make her entrance wearing the infamous green dress. So Larys is like, this is her calling her banners to war. This is her separating herself from Rhaenyra. Bullshit. This is Alicent creating more division. And I absolutely love that everyone stands for her as she walks in. And Daemon is like, hell no. I think the fuck not. He's the only one that doesn't stand up. I've told y'all. I sympathize with Alicent. She's much more sympathetic on the show than she is in the books. Like, I sympathize with her. I do. I really do. But, baby, what we are not going to do is act holier than thou because your daddy got canned for not minding his own damn business. She's salty as fucking angry at Rhaenyra because Rhaenyra lied to her. She didn't really lie to you, though. You asked if she slept with Daemon. She didn't. And of course she's not going to tell you that she's no longer a virgin because it was your daddy that told her father in the first place. And it is your son whose position your father is trying to secure. I wouldn't tell you either. Did you tell her you were canoodling with her father, manipulating him in your mother's dress before your bestie's mother's corpse was even cold? I mean, you didn't share that, so I don't see why she has to share anything of what she's doing with her coochie. See, it's very clear to me, the story that's being told. Like, it's clear to me. And you don't have to have red fire and blood to see it. Rhaenyra is rebelling against tradition, the normal way of things, because they are wrong. And some of these traditions are out and out disgusting. Like, Alicent should know better than anyone how disgusting they are. But she's defending these social norms and these traditions by questioning Rhaenyra's virtue. So to me, like, the stance of Team Green is basically, in a nutshell, do not change the status quo. And Team Black is the opposite. Tear it all down, change it, and build something else. In episode 4, when Alicent approached her, when it was brought up, it seemed like a protection move. Like, Alicent wanted to protect Rhaenyra. Alicent wanted to be in her corner and wanted to believe her and defend her. But now it's coming off as annoying and judgmental, almost jealous. I get maybe she's mad that her dad was fired. But Alicent vouching for Rhaenyra didn't make Viserys change his mind one way or the other. Viserys didn't care what Alicent said. He didn't care what Rhaenyra said. He didn't believe Rhaenyra anyway. You know he didn't believe Rhaenyra. If he believed her, why the fuck did he send her moon tea? So for Otto to put in Alicent's head that somehow his dismissal is about Rhaenyra lying and Alicent defending her, it's utter bullshit. Like, it's utter, like, miss me with that shit. He should have never been spying on her in the first place. Anyway, at the wedding, Crispin is looking miserable. I can't imagine having to work at a wedding of a person who, like, just broke my heart. Can you imagine going to work heartbroken, but then it's the wedding of the person that broke your heart? No wonder he snapped. Gerald Royce accuses Daemon of killing his wife. I think everyone suspects it anyway. Like, Viserys and Lionel Strong just are, the way they're looking, I think they know it. Like, Lionel's face is priceless. Daemon shuts him all the way down when he starts talking about coming to claim Runestone. Rhaenyra is dancing with Breakbones, Sir Harwin Strong, and Harwin could jump my bones. Harwin could break my bones. Whatever you like, sir. Harwin Hive. Anyway, Laena is looking at Daemon. Laena Velaryon is beautiful. She's dancing with Daemon. I'm feeling the chemistry, but I don't think Daemon is over his niece yet. Like, I still think his eyes are on Rhaenyra. Joffrey and Laenor are talking. Joffrey has looked around and found Rhaenyra's secret. He said Crispin is fully cunt struck, aka pussy whipped. But honey, Joffrey is messy. Like, let's say he was wrong in his assumption that it was Crispin, and it wasn't Crispin. You don't want to spill all kinds of tea, baby, when you should have just been sitting there enjoying your plate. Because Joffrey, you are talking to a madman, a complete psycho with severe problems with emotional regulation and anger issues. Rhaenyra is dancing with Breakbones, and Daemon cuts in. Daemon and Rhaenyra start to speak in High Valyrian, and I'm living for this scene. He's like, look, Laenor is going to bore you senseless. And in true Blood of the Dragon fashion, Rhaenyra is like, if you want me, take me then. And he, like, grabs her face. Like, y'all know, y'all, I know what y'all saying. I know we not supposed to want them. We not supposed to ship them. But the chemistry between Daemon and Rhaenyra is off the charts. Two chaotic dragon riders of House Targaryen. They definitely share the blood of the dragon. I loved it. But it's interrupted by screams. Somebody done fucked the party up. You can all, like, it never fails. It never fucking fails. The way Lord Beesbury got up out of there and was like, oh, hell no, I'm out. You can't really tell what's going on. At one point, I see Laenor toss Crispin. Then Crispin hit Laenor back. Then we see it's Crispin fighting Joffrey Lonmouth. Lionel gives his son Breakbones like a little nod, and then Breakbones start punching his way through the crowd to get to Rhaenyra. Crispin killed Joffrey literally for nothing. So then we cut to like the food all being on the table, the place being cleared out, the body being gone, the blood still being there. Like the wedding, the actual exchange of vows. As the wedding is taking place, it looks like they did it like the same night. They skipped the 7 days of partying and was like, fuck it, this shit got too crazy. We need to do this thing and we need to do it now. So Crispin is in the Godswood, about to unalive himself, until the Virgin Mary herself appears before him and stops him. The vows are said between Rhaenyra and Laenor, and the king passes out and the rat comes over to the blood. And if you know, you know. But let's talk about how toxic and dramatic this episode was. I never liked Crispin. He's pretty awful. Run away with me. Give up everything for me. You won't? What do you mean you won't? Well, I'm gonna tell your secrets to your rival. I'm gonna kill your fiance's boyfriend. I'm gonna ruin your wedding. Then off myself. He was really so pussy whipped. He did all that. But I wonder how this is going to play out. Like, how do you get away with killing Laenor Valerian's friend at his wedding? See, in the books, Crispin does kill Joffrey Lonmouth, but it's during a tourney. So it's not at a welcome feast. People die in tourneys all the time, so that's kind of like excusable. But to kill a man under the king's protection, under the king's roof, a noble man at that, is a bit much. But I figure Queen Alicent is going to lie for Crispin. Crispin has the queen. Crispin has the queen. And that's a lot of power and support to have. But the queen also has Crispin. She holds his secrets. Now, this was an amazing episode. And this is where we say goodbye to the actresses that play young Alicent and young Rhaenyra. Even Laenor and Laena, the actors are going to change. So the next episode is going to be a 10-year time jump. And did y'all see the preview? Because the preview for episode 6 looks crazy. Just think about it like this. We are almost at the War of Fire and Blood, like the Dance of Dragons. Think about it like this. Season 1 is the prologue. Think Game of Thrones prologue. Episode 6 is going to be the dance with me then that Waymar Royce delivers to the White Walkers as he raises his sword. I just can't wait. I think I'm going to just break down the whole preview because I thought it was absolutely insane. But what did y'all think about this episode? As always, thanks for watching. Thanks to everyone that supports me on Patreon. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please click that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and join the sweet summer family. Okay, my sweet summer children, have a good day.